Hello everybody, and welcome back to Performance on Wheels. This is video part 2 of our Grand Cherokee L trim review. So we are going to be checking out the interior of the Limited, the Overland, and some clips of a Summit. So let's get right into it. I would just like to give a quick thank you to the people that supplied the vehicles in this video today. That would be Park Jeep. Park Jeep is an awesome, small, family-owned dealership, and they're just great to work with. Much better than working with the big box dealerships, in my opinion. So if you are in the market for any type of vehicle, especially a Jeep, hit up Park Jeep. They're in the description below.
If you were wondering why we are not talking about the exterior of the Grand Cherokee L, that's because there's a whole nother video specific to the trim lines and the exterior. There's also some fun facts in that video talking about the differences, what makes the new Grand Cherokee different than the old. You're going to want to check that video out, especially if you're in the market for a Grand Cherokee L.
Hopping inside of the Grand Cherokee Limited. So how we're going to do this is we're going to start down low. We're starting at a $51,000 sticker on this Limited. We're going to move our way up to a mid-60s here on this Overland. Then to the top trim Summit is where we're going to end up. So let's hop into the Limited and check it out. We have 8-way adjustable seats for the driver and the passenger. We have an all-tan interior, 7-passenger configuration in this Limited. Comparing this to the previous gen Grand Cherokee, just in the low trim that we are looking at today, it is so much better in every way. From the moment I open the door, just the quality feels better. It doesn't feel so clunky like a Wrangler. And just the feel of everything, the design, I mean, there's still some cheap areas. We got some movement here, and that's a cheaper looking material. But all in all, everything is so much better than the last Grand Cherokee. In this model, we have a 6-speaker Alpine premium system, which is decent for a standard system, but I mean, it's not great. In the Limited, we've got plastic buttons everywhere. However, we have adaptive cruise. We still have heated seats, heated steering wheel. It's very user-friendly. Getting into the second row of the Grand Cherokee L is it's decently high off of the ground with the coil suspension. It's not horrible, it's doable. However, you might need to give grandma a hand. Sitting back here, I have adjustable seats, so we'll see how that works when we get into the third row. However, with it all the way back, I have a very good amount of leg room. Headroom is not an issue at all. Keep in mind, this one does not have a moonroof. And then as I look forward, we got some vents, 2 USB-Cs, a standard USB, or 2 of standard USBs actually, heated rear seats, which is good to see, as well as climate control in the rear that is fully controllable. I'm going to keep the seat all the way back because that's where I found to be comfortable. So let's move this forward. It looks like it just all hops up like that. Very easy to do. Let's get back here. We have 2 seats back here now. In the third row, this is going to be a little bit awkward to do. I got to pull this back while it's in the air here, and we'll set it down. So for leg room, it appears I have about 5 inches on each side. Foot room is a lot less, and I have smaller feet, so with the larger shoes that could be an issue with the seat all the way back. As I sit down back here, it's the awkward thing again that you usually get in third rows. It's not as bad as like the Tahoe per se, but I'm not even with my knees, so I am sitting upright a bit more. So you can't do this for a long period of time if you're an adult. However, at a kid, I think you got plenty of space back here. As well, you also have a USB-C and a standard USB on each side.
Enough with the Limited, let's get on to the Overland. Again, we're looking at a $62,000 price tag. Let's hop in right off the bat. You'll see we have some more controls on the seat. We have 12-way power seats. Also, you can see right off the bat that the interior quality, just the way it looks, does look nicer over that Limited. We have some more touches onto the steering wheel. Our buttons on the steering wheel turn from plastic to piano black. The refinement of the material is better. Instead of a plastic looking dash pad that has some stitching on it still, we actually have a leather dash pad now. So the refinement, the materials increase. We still have that beautiful like waterfall design. There's a lot of movement in the interior that keeps things interesting. It's very open with the whole horizontal design here where everything's flowing across. I love the way that the wood kind of moves through the cabin as well with the aluminum accents. We do have that panoramic roof here. Sitting position is wonderful. I feel very comfortable in the Grand Cherokee L. The steering wheel feels very nice in the hands. Everything is easy to see. It's very laid out. We're going to get into some of the technical specs of the electronics in a little bit. There's a lot of big changes. Make sure you stay tuned for that in a few minutes here. Let's check out the back, because in this configuration, we have 6 passenger, not the 7 passenger. So we have 2 captain's chairs in the second row. There is the availability to have a console in between the 2 captain's chairs. This one just has that walk-through. Again, the seat is movable just like in the Limited, reclines as well, so you can get very comfortable in the second row seat. Now with that pass-through, you could take the easy way and just hop into the third row in that manner. However, we won't cheat. What's interesting here is we have a few more features that we'll get to in just a second when we actually look at the cargo space that we have. So again, getting back here, there's going to be a few more amenities for passengers. I think it's 3-zone climate control. I could be wrong. Let's verify that in just a second here. But we do have vents that are shining right on us. We have USB, USB-Cs for the third row back here. We have a little Easter egg over on the window on the passenger side with the Grand Cherokee and the Grand Cherokee L. And then on the driver's side, we have another Easter egg that's a Wrangler, kind of showing some of the fun design cues that people are the designers are bringing in the heritage of that Jeep name. Now we do have cameras back here. Right up here I have the camera that so we can stay in tune with the drivers up in the first row. We can have that conversation, make eye contact, see if we're picking our nose, whatever the case may be. Just something to bring the family together when you have a vehicle this big. Let's get out and take a peek. As I'm getting out here, we're just going to look and show you guys that we have the buttons right here that fold down that third row from the second row. But as we move to the back and look at truck space, let's compare the Limited and the Overland in one shot. Taking a peek at that key fob. Same key fobs regardless of trim, that's fun. We have auto lift gates for both of the vehicles, and they just pop right open, which is great. You can see that we have a decent amount of storage with that third row up, right? We have some additional storage underneath. We have all of our seat controls, our automated seat controls in the Overland right over here. So I can put down the second row. I can't pull those back up, but I can also put down and bring back that third row of seat right here. So you can get an entire flat surface all the way up to behind those passenger and drivers. We got a little seat hiccup over there on the driver's side, but you can see you can really get a lot of room in here. Closing is right over here. Let's compare that to the Limited quick. Again, you have the same, there's actually a little more cargo space there. We had the jack in the Limited. That's actually probably where the air suspension tank is. It's a completely enclosed system. I read it's behind the third row. So that's the difference we're seeing in the capacity of storage is the air tank in the Overland. Nothing is power back here other than the tailgate. And I actually like this. This is really easy, really user-friendly. The fact that you have these lanyards to pull onto and get your seats back, it's very effortless. So having those power seats would not be a deal breaker in my book. We're getting into the tech right now, but before we do, one thing that is a tremendous difference that is new for the Grand Cherokee L is the sound system. When you get up higher than the Limited trim models or the optional Macintosh sound system, 19 speakers, 950 watt. That is a big difference over the 6-speaker Alpine in the Limited. It sounds good.
One thing I want to start off with that nobody really likes in the car community is just the piano black everywhere. We got it on the steering wheel here. I mean, look at the dashboard here. Everything is piano black. It scratches so easy. This car has 53 miles on it. Sorry, not 53,000. And I mean, I can just lay my finger here and it's just immediate. And it is everywhere. It looks great when it's clean, but it's already scratched. It's not gonna look good again. I don't know why they do it. But let's talk about quality once again. Now that we're in the higher trim, it is substantially better. Now we have cooled seats. Now, some of our buttons just look better. We have better feeling everything. We have a little bit more stitching here and there. it is a lot better than the Limited in a lot of ways. It feels better, it looks better, and it is worth the extra money. Now let's look at the dash, moving our way up to the display. As you can see, we got our panels closed right now. We have cup holders down here, which have some spots for ambient lighting. We'll get there in a moment. Here we have wireless charging, as well as some USBs, USB-Cs, aux, and then we move our way up to start getting into the technology. We have an all-new display here. It's powered by Android, like 5 times faster than the previous version. This is the first Jeep vehicle to have it. It will go across all Mopar products here soon, but it runs on 4G. It's 5G capable. It is extremely fast. It looks good. It's great. It really is a great system that they have here. I'm excited to see it across the whole lineup. Here's the family cam we were talking about earlier if you wanted to see somebody picking their nose or whatever the heck they're doing back there. But yeah, I mean, it's very fast. It looks good. The system is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We have the Uconnect as well as Alexa. So we have some of that cool stuff. And so here's your main settings page. We have some of our ambient color choices here. We have a nice blue, an aqua, a white, a yellow, a red. Our drive modes are just right down here, and then our air suspension is actually right here. So to change our drive modes, you just push up and down on the display here. We have snow mode, we have sand and mud, as well as rock crawling. The gauge cluster is quite similar to all the previous models in the Jeep, Dodge, that whole lineup. It's super easy to use. It's laid out very easily. It looks professional. They really did a nice job with this. The way that night vision works in the Grand Cherokee L is from a distance, when it starts recognizing heat signatures, they will be yellow, and as they become closer, they will turn red. And as they turn red, the safety features will start taking over in the Grand Cherokee L, thinking that it is a danger to the vehicle. So it takes over and all that, and this is out when you're driving. That is why it is not currently showing up as yellow. Like in all Mopar products, it is very customizable. You can change whatever you want, any corner. This works on the heads-up display as well.
There really is a lot of cool technology and luxury touches in the Grand Cherokee L. I mean, the moonroof is great. I mean, the switches up here are awesome. I even love the light. It kind of gives off a light hue that is similar to you'd find in a salon, but it's just not the touches that are important. This is the next, like, decade or 4 or 5 years worth of technology. It is 5G ready, 5G capable, over-the-air updates. All that stuff is important. The processor and the whole electronic system, the power net is the previous system that was in it. The Atlantis architecture is taken over. To get all this technology in here, they actually put 3 different PDCs in the Grand Cherokee L, power distribution centers, fuse boxes, one in the front, one in the middle, and one in the back. That's for all the different charging ports, capabilities, the cameras that are throughout the vehicle, as well as all this amazing technology. Like Austin was saying, it's 5 times faster. The resolution of the screens are through the roof. There is a lot of fun tech that's not only thinking about what the Grand Cherokee offers now, but future updates that can be provided through that 4 or 5G. What else is cool is the Grand Cherokee with the safety side in the upper trim levels. It actually starts to understand you and detects your driving patterns. After it understands your driving patterns, that's when it brings some of the safety options into it. Your lane departure, your alertness, all that stuff is kind of fine-tuned to your profile within the vehicle. There's numerous profiles that can be put in it. Pretty cool tech. It's up to date. It's well done. Good job, Jeep. There's a new updated off-road pages here that looks awesome. It responds well. It has all these different areas that you can see, very similar to a lot of the competition. I will say that as far as the capabilities, you can go through your cameras. It's trail ready. A lot of things that are good for on the trail, but they can also make everyday driving, getting into tight spaces easy. And it's just kind of fun to play around with all the different options. But this isn't new. It's not, specific to Jeep. Ford's got it. The Land Rover we're currently driving has all the different modes, all the different gauges. It's actually pretty standard across the new vehicles, any new vehicle that claims to have any sort of off-road capability, that is.
Now we are entering the Summit. You know that from the door sill as well as the beautiful cross stitching along the door panel, the cross stitching on the seats, the different color stitching. Now we have like a bronze stitching everywhere, just this nice wood trim. You can totally tell that this is the top tier Jeep. One big thing that I noticed sitting in the Summit versus the other ones is the quality of the leather greatly went up. I really do feel, and that's over everything too, like the armrest, the seat itself, the quality of the leather feels substantial compared to the other two. Getting into the back seat here, we have the same color plastic piece on the back of the driver, some chrome around it. It really does look just absolutely amazing. We have cross stitching on the back seats here. Once again, the leather feels a lot better. Of course, the seat quality isn't there, but the leather just feels so good. We now have the center armrest that we're showing you guys. It has a pretty decent amount of storage. That piano black, this is some clean piano black. It looks very good around the cup holders here. Same dual zone climate. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot nicer feeling in here. This Summit is actually the exact same sticker as the Overland we were just looking at. So you get this super fancy interior. However, this has the 6-speaker Alpine stereo in it. It has no air ride, so you're missing out on two very large options right there. And that is where the big sticker difference comes into play.
Thank you guys for joining us today as we journeyed across the different trim lines in the interior of the Grand Cherokee L. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to check out our previous video on the exterior of the Grand Cherokee L. We give this vehicle 2 thumbs up. We think it's very well done. It is a great improvement over the previous generation. We'll see you guys soon.